Okay, so as I'm sure you know from the title of this video, I am building a Rukkatrukk Squigbuggy. You can see pieces up here. It's a really super cool model. I really like it. There's one thing that bothers me about it though, and that's the wheels. They are way too new, way too clean, but we are going to fix that. This is very easy, and it doesn't take long, and it will make them look a ton better. So the first thing that we are going to do is give them some wear on the treads here. And the way we're going to do this is with an emery board. It has a rough side and a smooth side. We're going to use the smooth side to do this. And this is very easy. One thing that you do want to keep in mind is which way these tires roll. Obviously, going forward, they're going to roll this way. So, all we need to do is take this onto our emery board and try to hold it straight up. Because as you can see, these surfaces are curved. And we want to make the top of this flat. So, considering that the wheels are rolling this way, we're going to put that onto the emery board like this. And we're just going to kind of scrape it forward, trying to keep it straight up and down. And we're just going to roll it. And that's going to give us a little more wear on the sides that would be gripping the most if going forward, you know what I mean? This is going to be pretty subtle. You don't want to go too crazy with this, otherwise you're not going to see the difference from the original cast to where you did the alteration. Okay. So you can see here where just the center is getting a little bit flat. We're almost there. We want to go just a little bit more. And we're just going to continue this same thing here. You just got to kind of go around a couple times and then take a look at it, eyeball it, and see if it looks flat to you. Okay, so we can take our other wheel and we can kind of eyeball it and look, is it any flatter than the original ones? It is a little bit, but I think we can do a little more. So we'll go around again. Okay, that's looking good. Now the reason we don't want to go too far with this, and we want to keep the wheel as straight as possible. I wasn't as straight as I would have liked to have been. But this sandpaper, not only is it going to flatten the centers out, it's also going to give it a little bit of a different texture than these outside areas. So, this is the first thing we do, flatten it out. On this emery board, I like to have this extra or difference in texture, but it's a little bit much. It's just a little bit too rough, so we're going to use this ultra fine sandpaper. This is like 1000 grit, I think, and we're just going to smooth it off a little tiny bit. I'm not going to do much with this. Just a few times around is good. And that should be all we really need, just to take down the big grooves and smooth it out just a little bit. So we can kind of compare it again to our other wheels, or our ungridded wheel. It is a little bit flatter, and it does have that little bit of texture in the middle, which I think is cool. Okay, now the next thing that we want to do is get a hobby knife, and we're going to just put little nicks in this. This is not something we want to do a whole ton of. We want to be a bit conservative with this. But basically how this is going to work is we're just going to kind of cut in and chip it out. Just like that. Real small. And we're going to be fairly conservative with this. We don't want a lot of it. Just a little bit. Might look like a lot at first, but we have one more thing we're going to do after this to smooth our damage effects out. You kind of want to, put those in random places, obviously. You don't want them all just in the middle. That would look weird. So what I'm doing here, like I said, just going in and just popping this out. I'm trying to be random with my placement and the direction. So don't worry if it doesn't all come out. You can go back and fix it if your piece doesn't pop out all the way. So I'm just going to go around and finish this, and I'll come back when that is done. Okay, so I've gone all the way around and just did random little chips here and there. Now the next thing we want to do is kind of the same idea of being random, and we're just going to use the back of the hobby blade, and we're going to make some scratches. You can make these kind of wherever you want. Here, go diagonally on the sides. I'm just kind of getting a little bit of texture in here. Now I can even take a little chunk here. And again, less is more with this. You just want to get a little bit in there. I also like to do these just little holes. Little divots here and there. Decided I want a little more there. Okay, so that's pretty much it for that part. I'll give it one more in here. One more scratch. Alright, so what do we do next? These cuts are a little bit much, but that's okay, because the last thing we have is our model cement. We're just going to take a little bit of our model cement and just touch it to these areas that we damaged. That's just going to soften those edges a little bit. You don't need a lot. Just a little bit on each of the things that you cut. Alright, so this is a very simple thing to do. If we compare this to one of our original wheels, we can see that it's a little bit flatter in the center and scuffed up, and the addition of just those little chips, when we paint this is going to make a huge difference. So I hope you guys all try this out on your vehicles. I really think this makes a big difference. I've seen some really nice looking wheels, nice looking damaged wheels, and taking some tips from some scale modelers, I thought I would share this with you. If you guys have any tips for how you damage your wheels and tires, leave them in the comments below. And I will see you in the next video where we will tackle another part of the Squigbuggy. Thanks for watching.